The first thing is to fold your fabric into 4 like I did in this video. Pin to hold it round in places.
But then I later cut it into 2. So this is the front piece. And the neckline for the front piece is 5 inches depth. Then the width is 3.5 inches. Neck to sleeve measurement is 17 inches. And then I come down by 1 inch for shoulder slope. Then from there, I'll come down again with my sleeve round. That is where that measurement reach. Yeah, so I'm coming down by 9.5. That's with the sewing allowance for this style. So next thing is to take my waist measurement. I take it across, then I rule it out. Next thing is to divide my waist into 4. That's 9 inches plus 6 inches for the pleats at the front with allowance and 1 inch is 1 inch allowance and 1 inch is. Then from the waistline, I'll come down by 10 inches for my hip line. Then I square across and I will connect that together just like I did in the video. So the same measurement I have at my waistline, I'll bring it down to the hip line. That should fit perfectly for the hip size and everything. So that's 17 inches that I have at the waist. I'll bring it down to the hip. Now let's connect the shoulder slope as I'm doing in the video. So I'll be connecting it to each other. Then I'll come back to the neckline. We are having a V neckline, but I noticed that this is too short for me, so I want it deeper, so I go down by 1 inch extra to make it 6 inches. So that's what I'm doing there in the video. So I'm connecting it and bringing it up back to confirm my measurements, and if it has not shifted. So the 70 inches I'm putting it at the hip line. So I'm cutting now. So I cut. Then next thing is to transfer this measurement to the front. We can actually do it on the front, but to avoid too much chalk on the front piece, so that's why I didn't do it directly on the front. So now I'm going to bring our waistline, because that will be our guidelines for this style. So I'm bringing the waist measurement to the front back. So I'm making it 17.5. My waist measurement is supposed to be 17, so I'm adding ½ inch, because by the time we sew at the shoulder, the thing will go back to 17 inches. So that's what I'm doing. So the lines is straight out now, so we are looking for the midpoint, which is where the measurement will start from. We are measuring 2 inches from the midpoint. Then we measure 1.75 for our allowance between legs, because we are going to be doing 6 inches, which is why we are going to be doing 2 inches for each pleat, which is why we added 6 inches allowance in the first place. So the 2 inches will represent 1 pleat, and 6 inches make it 3 pleats. So that's what I'm doing here. From the midpoint, you measure 2 inches, then 1.75 inches for the difference. Can you see what I'm doing there? So the first 2 inches that I measure, that's not the one I'm pleating. So the next 2 inches that is after it is the one I'll pleat, just like I'm doing in this video. Then we will have to go up by 3 inches for sewing. We go up by 3 inches. Then from the midpoint, we measure 2 inches again, which is 5 inches straight. Then we sew it on it. You can do this inside or outside, so there's no rule saying you must do it outside. If you want your pleat to be inside, you can pleat it inside and sew it. That means you don't have to bring this mark at the front. You just do the mark behind, like the inside of the material. But if you want the style outside, this is how you do it. So we are sewing 5 inches and 3 inches up. The reason why we put the line is because of the 3 inches we want to, and because of this 5 inches we are doing, because by the straight line, the waistline will be our guideline. So that's what I'm doing in the video. So you measure 1.75, then 2 inches. It's the 2 inches that you pleat. Can you see what I did now? So it's the 2 inches that you pleat. Then you use your pin to hold it down to avoid shifting. So your pleat can either face same side, or it face one side face right and the other side face left. So it all depends on what you want. You can be creative on your own. Just do whatever you like at that point. So can you see what I'm doing? So the first 2 inches from the midpoint, you are not to sew that one, so it's the next 2 inches that you will pleat. Then you will have 1.75 inches as your space between each pleat. So you measure 2 inches. You will still see it. I will still explain better in next video when I'm doing the back. This is the front piece, so when I'm sewing the back I will explain better, so just watch. All right, so this is what it looks like. Can you see the inside? You trim it off. So this is the back piece, and that's the midpoint. I iron it so that the line will show. So first thing is to measure 2 inches from that midpoint. Then you measure another 2 inches. You get me? Another 2 inches. So that 2 inches you measure first is just a starting point. Why the next 2 inches will be the first pleat. Can you see? Just watch closely what I'm doing in the video. So the first 2 inches from the midpoint is the one you won't pleat, while the next one will be another 2 inches that you will pleat. So I'm marking 2 inches out. So after the 2 inches, then you measure your allowance for each pleat. That will be 1.75. Then you measure the next 2 pleats. So I've done for one side, so this is me on the other side so that I can explain again. So basically what I'm doing is clear, and so that's the midpoint for the other side. So I'm starting from the left side now. So I measure 2 inches first, then another 2 inches. Yes, another 2 inches. Then from that 2 inches I measure the gap, which is 1.75. Then the second 2 inches. Can you see my hand? I'm showing you that that's the second pleat. So another 1.75, then 2 inches again. That will be the third pleat. So that's the starting point. 2 inches, 2 inches again, then 1.75. So that first 2 inches is the one I'm pleating. So you are folding 1 inch on each other, which makes it 2 inches. So that's what I'm doing there. So use your pin to hold it down perfectly so that it won't shift, because the first one I didn't use pin to hold it down up to the upper side. So that's what I'm doing there. So the 1.75 is the gap. So the one I'm pleating now will be the next 2 pleats, like 2 inches pleat. So use your pin to hold it down. Then the next measurement will be 1.75 spacing, that is there, 1.75 inches, then 2 inches. So it's the 2 inches you pleat. So I think this explains it better. So the waistline that you can see, that yellow chalk, is the one to guide us on sewing. So it's just for it to guide us on sewing. So this is what it looks like when you use your pin to hold it down. Then you sew 3 inches up. As you can see here, you sew it on that pleat, sew it on it. Then from that line, that waistline that I talked about, you sew 2 inches down. So that's what you do for the 6 pleats. You can see. So next thing is you join your front and back together. So this is what it looks like inside. And I've cut the facing, I've joined the facing, pleat, notch it and top stitch. Then next thing is to weave that facing, the one that door face material that I use, you weave the tip. Then but now I won't do that. That's what I'm supposed to do, but then I'm not doing it. So I will just weave when I'm done with the whole cloth. So this is where I'm joining the front and back together. So I'm using the shoulder of one of it to wrap it to sew the shoulder. So I'm sewing the shoulder now, and I'm folding it on it like you see me do in the video. Then use your pin to hold it and go straight to the machine to sew it down.
So I'm sewing it straight. That's the shoulder line. So I'm sewing it straight down. I'll be doing it for the other shoulder. So this is me putting the front and back shoulder. Put it together and you do the same thing I did on the other side. Wrap it, then you sew it down straight by ½ inch, and you come to the side. The sleeve area, you leave the sleeve area, then come to the side of the material, and you will sew by ½ inch around the sleeve area, like the armpit. Then you sew by ½ inch from there. Then when you come down, you use 1 inch. So that's what I was sewing it straight down. So on the second side, you do the same and you sew. So after that, after sewing the side, then you come to the sleeve. I've actually weaved the sleeve. This is me sewing the hem line. So this is the sleeve side. So I'm sewing by ½ inch. I've weaved it, so I'll just fold it by ½ inch. So this is where I'm weaving the whole places that I needed to weave. Then hem the downside. And so this is the outcome. This is the front look, and this is the back look. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe to my channel.